Hello everybody, it's Kathy Champion and you're back with me in my craft room. And I'm so excited today to bring you what I'm hoping is going to be a really neat project that we can all get use out of, not only for ourselves but for a wonderful gift. And I think we all have mothers and daughters and grandmothers and our just friends. So this is something that I was designing and thinking I was just going to do a little mini folio, and I haven't finished with everything here, but I'm going to go over all of the dimensions and give you step by step of how I got this to this point. But as I was thinking what I wanted to do with this, I thought how neat would it be to have tiny recipe books like this with specialties like Christmas cookies. We are coming to the end of Christmas in July. I didn't do a lot of Christmas projects this year for a variety of reasons. I had just got my craft room back together. Made It Con came up during the middle of the month and it was virtual, and I had my daughter come in for that. And I kind of got sidetracked a little bit, and I'm not going to blame Made It Con because that was not the purpose of what got me sidetracked, but for whatever reason I just wasn't as into doing Christmas in July this year as I normally am. So please forgive me, but here we are on the 29th day of I believe it's the 29th. Grab my phone to tell me what day it is. You know, sometimes it's bad that we forget it is Wednesday the 29th, so I was right. Yay me. But I thought, how neat would it be to give someone your Christmas cookie recipe folio? And this being a little mini folio, I think it will work perfect for that. And I'm so excited to bring this to you. And as I was thinking Christmas cookies, and I couldn't get away from that thought process, I thought about this pack of paper that I got last year, and it's called, and I did use some of it, or at least I cut some of the cut aparts, and it was called Rejoice. And this is put out by Authentique, and this is so beautiful. This paper has the essence of our Christmas baking. And I, for one, love to bake, and I enjoy the process. I love making goodies. I'm not good at cakes, so to speak. Probably a pound cake would be my specialty, but I love to make pies and I love to make cookies. And I want y'all to look at this. Look at this little girl rolling out her cookies. Look at this little doll sitting at her little table making cookies. And then we have Santa, another precious little girl right there. And how adorable is this one? This little girl reminds me of my little Autumn. And then we have these other cut aparts over here. And look, it says Cookies for Santa. Holidays are sweet memories. May you be filled with warm wishes, joy, and cookies. Baked with love. Santa's best gingerbread cookies. I mean, I love this. Baking spirits bright. 'Tis the season for joy and cookies. Baker's Extra Flour, Spurry Flour Company. This is just, I mean, these cut aparts, and then look back here. We have these little cut aparts that we can put our Christmas recipes on. I'm absolutely thrilled with this pack of paper. I don't think I saw this pack of paper for all of its beauty the first time I looked at it. I guess because I wasn't looking for a project. This little girl right here has absolutely stole my heart. I think she's adorable. This paper is stunning, and for this particular project, this paper is beautiful. I don't know if this paper, look at that, oh, I love it, I love it. I don't know if this paper is still available. I think I got this from May. Look at that. Oh, it's cookies everywhere. And again, we got the little gingham plaid. This for borders. Oh, Love it, love it, love it. Look at this. This is the same one. Look at the aprons, the mitt, and the spoons, and the rolling pins. It's so, I love this one too. It's so vintage, and yet it's so lovely. Look at that. I think this paper screams, let's go bake something. Look at this. It has actual recipes back here. Sugar cookies, gingerbread cookies. I love it. I love it. I love it. And look at that. Oh my heavens. I cannot say enough good things about this paper. Look at this. It is gorgeous. Look at the cookie cutters, angels and bells and gingerbread men and stars and Christmas trees, all the things. That just looks like a Christmas present right there. I am in love. Absolutely in love with this. And these right here are actually cut aparts, but you don't have to cut them. They're already coming apart. This will be great for decorating inside this little mini album. It kind of makes me wish I'd done a bigger one because the paper's so pretty. And grabbing this paper was second thought for me because I really was not thinking of using this. But as I got to, I think this goes like this, and I used the one with the little girl that was there. So I remember using that on a project last year, and I'm glad now that I saved this paper because I think it is going to be perfect for what I have in mind. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do today in today's video, we are going to actually build this little folio. I think the first thing we need to do is take it apart. I'm going to give you the dimensions, where everything goes, and in order to do that, I'm just going to unclip my 3 clips that I put on it to kind of hold it together, and we're going to go to bare bones. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about this piece right here. When you open this piece up, it is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do with this. You're going to take and whatever you want your base color to be, choose your cardstock. You may want to go with a cream color, you may want to go with a brown, you may want to go with a red. But what I was looking for was a neutral color that everything else would pop against. That's why I chose black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scoreboard because I want to show you where I scored this. Now the first thing you want to do when you put this in your scoreboard is put it in on the 11-inch side. And let me get my stylus so that I can at least point. I've already scored mine, so I'm not going to score it again. I am going to score this at 5 1/4 all the way down, and 5 3/4, 5 1/4, and 5 3/4. This is giving you that 1/2 inch back onto your little folio. Then you're going to turn your paper 1/4 of a turn to your right and bring it back up here, and you're going to score it at 3 all the way down. That's all the scoring there is on this piece. Then you're going to burnish your score lines. I would do these first. I would do my 5 1/4, 5 3/4, and then turn it over and score this 3-inch one. And then you're going to hold this down and bend this to get you a nice little bend on it. And then do the same thing on this side to get a good bend on it. Now once you have this done, what I suggest doing is, I was going to say put glue down. I think I still would put glue down right here. So I am going to just use some art glitter glue. And I'm going to go in here, and just on this piece right here, I'm going to just swirl a little bit of art glitter glue. And I'm going to come all the way up to the top edge, and then I am going to mash this in place. Now when you do this, make sure that you bring this up, because you don't want anything that's going to keep this from bending like it needs to, because this is what's making your booklet. And I numbered this as piece 1. So you may want to put a little number on the outside of this so it doesn't get confusing. Now I'm not going to glue these down yet because we're going to actually have other things that's going to allow this to come together for us. So let me just press that down a little bit more. You may even want to take your bone folder and just press that down because you just want to make sure that glue is very well adhered inside there. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to add our pieces on. The first piece I want to do is piece number 2. And this piece you're going to cut it at 5.5 by 5.5. So this is going to be a complete score, 5.5 by 5.5, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. It doesn't matter which side you do it on because this is square. So do it 5.5, 5.5, and score it at 1/2. So what we're going to do with this piece is we're going to slide it in just like that. And it is going to glue down just like this so that it comes right on that score line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue all the way down because when I turn this and put this in, I want it to glue all the way down. So I'm going to open this up. Let me move, no, I don't want to move the scoreboard because we're going to use it some more. I am going to take art glitter glue. Now you can use two-way tape if you want. I have really good luck doing things like this with my art glitter glue. So, you know, you do you, whatever works for you. Now I'm just going to sit this in here all the way down to the bottom, working it up to the top, just like that, just like that. Making sure that folds. And now we have our first flap is in. This is working. Don't worry if you get a little glue that comes out because these are all going to be matted. So you're not going to have to worry about what the glue showing. And this is art glitter glue. It does dry clear. So we are going to need to put some glue here as well, but we're not going to do that yet. Now we're going to open this up and we're going to do the same thing over here. This one is going to be a little bit different because we are going to want to leave this piece right here. Let me explain. This piece is 6 by 5.5. So you're going to cut this piece at 6 by 5.5 and you're going to score it at 5.5. That's not right. Hang on just a minute. Let me see if I can see the numbers on the scoreboard a little bit better. And even though I have good lighting in here, sometimes I just need to... Okay, that's better. You're going to put this in on the 6-inch side and you're going to score at 5 1/4 and 5.5. That's going to give you that 1/4 inch area right there. So once you get that scored, then what you're going to want to do is bring your piece back over, and we're working on this far left-hand panel. So like if you fold that under, you're going to have a pocket here, and we're going to be working on this piece right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on that 1/2 inch place right there, but don't go over that score line. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to do this. Toby, no. What we're going to do is we're going to put glue all the way down, and I'm just going to do a nice little swirl of my art glitter glue. It looks like a lot, but you do want this to hold. So, and I'm going to turn this back like this, and I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to bring my piece to this, and I am going to set it right down in it, and I'm going to smoosh that down I don't know if smush is a proper term, but I smush. Okay, so now this is going to come over. Actually, this is going to come over here. We're going to build up some more stuff inside here. This is going to be a pocket now. So what I would like to do is I want to put some glue right there on that edge. Just like that. And press it, and press it, and press it. I don't want it to squirt out too much, but I just want it to sit in there. That's going to be so nice. Now we have a pocket here, a pocket here. We need to do a pocket here. So we're going to make a pocket to go on this side. And I think what I'm going to do, I had some scrap pieces, and you will have some scrap pieces left over. So save them, because you can come back and cut these down. And I believe this pocket here is 3 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is 3. So we're going to cut this piece at 4 by, we might be able to get by with 3.5. Yeah, I think we can do 3.5. So let's change that to 3.5 instead of 4. So 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm writing these down as I do it, because I am kind of designing this as I go. And the reason I want to have these written down is because I want to be able to put these measurements there on YouTube, so that if you did not get them, you can go back and see them. But I'm going to have them showing in the video as we go, as well as in the description. I'll get that right in a minute. So we know that the pocket is 5, so we did this at 5.5. So I'm going to score this at 5, at 1/2. So let's do it in order. Score at 1/2 and at 5. Turn it a 1/2 turn, and score again at a 1/2 inch. Now this is just a great way to make a pocket. I am going to go ahead and fold these in and fold this up, and then I'm going to miter these corners. And if you don't know what mitering is, all we're going to do is we're going to cut across where those 2 lines meet, but we don't want to go too close. We just want to come right there. What that's going to allow is for our corners, and I didn't get it quite close enough, and that's okay. I'd rather be out too far than too close. So I'm going to miter a little bit more, and what happens then is when these fold together, we have a perfect little cross section here, and I'm still not quite there. Let's see if this one can go just a hair more. That's good. And it's better to cut a little bit at a time than to cut it too close and then have a gap there, which will be a hole. Now see how that comes together perfectly? That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to open this one up, and I'm going to see if I can get closer this time with one swipe. So let's go right across where they intersect. That would be the right word. Yep, that one I did pretty good. So what we're going to do, in order to put this pocket in, we're going to come back over to this flap right here, and we are going to put this pocket in right about here. Now if you notice, it's not as wide as those pockets, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same. We're also going to put another flap up here that's going to come down. We can stick recipes in here, and oh, this is just going to be so much fun. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this pocket down, because like I said, we're going to build this thing today, in today's video, and then we'll probably decorate it in the next 2 videos, and then we will make our recipe cards in the next one. So I think it'll be probably 3 videos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down just like this. And I'm going to use my bone folder because I really want to work that glue. And by making the pocket like this and not putting it down flat, you're going to be surprised how nice this pocket will fan out. This pocket will fan out where you can get a lot more stuff in it. And I really wish I had done a little, I might still be able to do that. Let me grab a hole punch. This is a 3/4 inch circle punch, which is a small, very small punch. But I'm going to go in, if I can get in here without breaking my pocket, and I just want to snip out, and it's a good idea to do this before you do this. So for you, do this before you glue your pocket down. It'd be much easier. But I'm going to go in there about what I feel is halfway, and I'm going to punch. And see, that gives us a nice little edge right there to be able to grab stuff in and out of that pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Just a little half moon is all we need. I'm going to lift it up because I think I can get a little bit better leverage if I lift that up. And then we're going to do the same thing. This one won't be hard because we haven't glued it down yet. Alright, so we've got all of our little dooflotchies there for our tabs to be able to get in and out of that pocket. Let's turn this around, and on that very first one, let's go ahead and glue that down to the side. So I'm going to put glue all the way down, and I am going to glue this in place, but you see what I'm doing? I'm holding my finger there so that it doesn't adhere completely flat down, and that gives us a little gap there. And that's a good thing because that will allow you to get more stuff in your pocket. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to build something that will go over the top of this and come down. So what I want to do is, oh, wait a minute. I have a piece for that. I'm sorry. This piece is cut, and I thought I did. This piece is cut to 8.5. So cut from a piece of 8.5 inch paper, cut it off at 5 inches by 8.5. And then you're going to score it at 1/2 and at 6. And you're going to bend the first score line, that's the 1/2 inch score line, bend it away from you, and the other one you're going to fold it up. Well, I should say one to you and one away from you. The top one should go, away. This one should go, actually, it's the opposite. But anyway, this piece needs to go down. This piece comes up. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to actually glue it in right over top, and you want to center it right between those two score lines. So again, we're going to open up that tab. We're going to put some glue just on this. I love building these little folios. They're so much fun. And you can design yours and make it the way you want it just by changing up your pieces. So I'm just going to lay that in there. And I'm going to press it down, making sure that it folds good, and it does. Very, very good. Now I'm getting all my pieces together before I do any matting, and this is why. I want the mats to cover all the workings of this, because we have got workings. We've got workings here, we've got workings here, we've got score lines and where things were attached, and I want all of that to be covered up so that no one can see the total workings of our little folio. When they open this up, they're going to think, oh my gosh, how beautiful. Look at this. There's a pocket. There's another pocket. Speaking of pockets, we're going to put one right here because I think the front needs a pocket as well. So let's go over and grab another piece of our cardstock. And this is 5.5 by 4.5. And let's go ahead and build our pocket that size. So all we're going to do on our scoreboard is we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. We're going to do the same thing we did before, 1/2 inch, and then this is going to be at 5. So that gives you 1/2 5 inches. Then you're going to turn it 1/4 of a turn and score again at 1/2 inch. And we're going to do that miter cut again. And this time I'm going to actually use my punch before I get to the point. And let's miter this one. And then let's go ahead and fold and fold. And that needs to be cut just a little bit more. Not a biggie. Yep, that came together better. And that one needs another little haircut. And you know, like I said, don't feel bad if you have to go back and trim a little extra off. It's much better to do it here than it is to cut it down too much and waste a piece of cardstock. So, you know, don't be afraid. Just nip it a little bit and then go back and nip it a little bit more until you get it perfect. Or as close to perfect as we do. We don't do perfect. I'll brush that all off. Now this is going to give us a different look of a pocket. And you know what? I need to miter this off just a little bit. This is going to be a lot of bulk up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go under here with my scissors. And I'm trimming that back. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look pretty because we're going to have this all covered. I am going to put a little speck of more glue right here under this corner, just to make sure that it's adhering. And you do the same thing when you do yours. If you have any little corners or places that looks like they're trying to lift up, just throw a little bit more glue up underneath there and go with it. And that's what glue's for. It's to hold all of our pieces in place. Okay, now remember what I said, we're going to use this and we're going to go in. This is what I should have done on those first pockets, but I didn't think. So we're going to do our little thumb. And now this one is ready to go on our very front. So if you close this back up and go over to your front where your number 1's at. And all I'm going to do is glue this down. And do I want to put, I think I want to put paper on here before I, I'm trying to think, do I want to put some paper behind this? But I'm going to be covering most of it up. Yeah, I still want to mat that piece, so I don't think I'm going to put that pocket down just yet. Let's see what else we want to build in here before we commit to actually closing everything up. Alright, we know this is going to go here, so I'm going to leave that laying there. And I know that I want to make something for back here. We've got a piece there. We need something here. So I think I'm going to do another piece very similar to this. So we're going to cut another number 4. And this makes it so easy when I number them. So I'm going to say cut another number 4. And if I turn my page over, I can very easily see that a number 4 is 8.5 by 4, scored at 1/2 and 6. So let's do that. Let's grab another piece of cardstock. And let's see if this is 8 inches. 8.5, and it is. So 8.5 by 4, and it's by 6. So we're going to cut this down to, let's see if we got a piece that's almost that size. Let's see, that is 6. And that's 4. Let's just cut this down to 8.5. I think that'll work. I'm reserving some of my other pieces in case we need them. So let's bring our trimmer over. So we need this to be 8.5. Okay, 8.5 by 4. Make sure we got that right. 8.5 by 4. Yep, that is what we got. So now we're going to put it in the scoreboard, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch and at 6 inches. And for some reason that does not look like that. But you know what? We're going to make it work. This is not 8.5 by 4. This is 8.5 by 5. Yep, 8.5 by 5. We're going to change it. We're going to change it. 8.5 by 5. No big deal. We will fix this, and we're still going to score at 1/2 and at 6. And I'm going to finish this and this. And I'm trying to decide if I maybe want this one over here. Maybe we'll redo that. Maybe we'll put this one here. Yep, let's do that. This one is now going to go on this front number 1 panel. We're going to hook it right over top of it, right there. And this is going to live right here. And this will go up. We're going to make this a pocket. And let's go ahead and varnish it down. I'll varnish this down. And now we're ready to put some glue right there. And let's go back to here. And like I said, on the back side of the number 1 where it says inside front, you are going to just hook this over it. Slide it down and adhere. Adhere, adhere, adhere. Just like that. Okay, so now we have a little flap here. Yeah, we could do that. No, I want them to go up. This is going to go up like this, and we've got one that will come up here. We could even do a waterfall down this one. And we still need to do another piece for the other side. This is going to close like this. This pocket's going to go here. And we are getting this to start coming together. And I love it. Now we still need that piece right there. So we've got to cut another piece that's going to be 8.5 by 5. So 8.5 by 5. So I'm going to cut this off at 5 inches. And we're going to put it up here on the 8.5 inch side. We're going to do the same thing we did a while ago. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch and at 6 inches. And now again, you're going to push this one away from you or to you, whichever way you want to look at it. Varnish it down, and then you're going to fold this one up. So one comes back, one goes up. And let's varnish it down. I'm going to use my little punch, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to make myself a little thumbnail. And we're going to go ahead and put glue on this one. Just really, really carefully right up the edge, right as close to that edge as you can get it. And I am going to put my finger in here as I push it down so that I'm making a pocket. That's just a good little trick that you can use, and it gives you a little gap right there. And we're just going to hold that. Good thing about art glitter glue, it dries really, really fast. What's the bad thing about art glitter glue? It dries really, really fast. Okay, so we got that piece done. So now we're ready to go ahead and drop it in, and we're going to drop it right here. Just like so. Oh, I'm loving the way this is coming together. Okay, let's go ahead and put some glue here. And let's lay this down in here, centering it right between those score lines. because remember, you don't want the score lines, anything to go over top of the score line that's going to keep that from being able to fold. Just like that. Now I am going to turn this over, and I want to burnish that down really good so that glue will adhere. Just like that. I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what a mess this thing is beginning to look like. But it's really, really not. When we get this completely done, I'm going to go ahead now, the center flap that's kind of laying there, flapping around everywhere, I am going to go ahead and do my little half moon, and then do another one right here on this little pocket. Half moon. You know, I'm going to pop one of those in my iced tea in just any minute now. That will not be a good thing. Okay, so we still have the space here, but I'm thinking I don't want to do anything here. I want to put a piece of cardstock over that and maybe build another pocket right there. So right now we're going to have a pocket here. I want to do something on this piece, and I'm not sure. Maybe I want another fold out that way. So let's measure this. This is going to be 5.5. And we could do 5.5 by 4 3/4. So 5 1/4. So we need to cut it 5 1/4 by 5.5. 5 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, we got it good either way. 5 1/4 by 5.5. And we're going to score this. Five and a quarter. We're going to score it on the 5 1/4 inch side, and we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. I like the 1/2 inch pieces to connect because it gives you a little more real estate for your glue, and that's very, very important when you're making a project like this. You got to have enough of space for it to actually adhere to the glue. So I think that will work well there. Yep. Or do I want to do it like this? Nope, that's going to be my front. So I definitely want this to go this way. So let's go ahead and do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to put some glue down right about here. And I think after I do this, we're gonna call the part 1 done. And when we come back together, we will go ahead and work on our phase 2. So bend that over, adhere it down. Let that glue set. And there we go. So now we have a flap here, flap here, flap there. It opens up this way and this way and this way. We have pockets and pockets and pockets, and this is going to be a pocket and a pocket, and then this is going to fold down, this is going to fold in, this is going to fold shut, and this is going to be our little folio. How stinking cute is this? And when we come back, we will definitely decorate these different pieces and add a few more elements that's going to make it gorgeous and very useful. So I hope you've enjoyed part 1. I know that sometimes this can be the tedious part. The decorating's where all the fun takes place, so don't leave me now. Hang in there, and hopefully you'll have yours done and have this much of yours done, and then you can follow along with me with the decorating. And if you don't have this particular paper, remember, you can use what you got. You can always do some little circles or whatever and use your stamp sets to stamp little sentiments or whatever you want yours to say, and we will make this work. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you are excited about making this little cookie folio or recipe folio for your Christmas goodies. I think it's going to be so cute, and I'm excited. So until we craft again, as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy of our praise, our honor, and everything else about us. So I love you all very much, and until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.